we'll move on to the Tchouameni big news. He's Liverpool's top priority this summer. It cost them an estimated £59 million. Jay, is this the correct priority for this summer? You touched on it before. It's a midfielder who can pretty much play anywhere. When I've had a little look at him, he's played on the left wing before. He's played cam. He's played centre mid. Played holding midfielder. Very versatile.
100% it should be the priority, mate. I love Thiago. I love Fabinho. But our midfield's very injury prone and it's old. Henderson's obviously played a lot this season, but I think this is the first season he hasn't had a couple of knocks. Kate is out constantly. Oxlade-Chamberlain picks up knocks even though he doesn't play. And even Fabinho can pick up knocks. And Thiago's had a few. So there isn't really anyone in that midfield that's 100% reliable for being fit all the time. And obviously with Henderson being 31, Milner's 37. Fabinho's like 29 now, I think, as well. So he's not the youngest. That's definitely the area we need freshening up. Up top, it's hard to pick your best three. So I don't think that should be a priority. Centre halves, everyone's always arguing who should be playing between Konate and Matip. Don't think that needs touching. Tsimikas, Robbo left back. Maybe need a right back, but it looks like we're getting the kid from Aberdeen. So for me, the centre of the park, mate, is absolutely 100% where we should be focusing everything on.
Have you seen much of Tchouameni, Damon? £59 million. It's probably not going to be that up front. So I'd imagine it's probably, if he's on a, what was he getting, a 6 year deal, something like that. So the payments will be spread across them years, like we've seen so often with Liverpool signings. So it'll probably work out about 15 million a year, won't it?
Is so good at what he does. I mean, is perfect for Klopp. Absolutely perfect for Klopp. The fact that he could play DM, attacking mid, like Jay said, on the left, that is exactly the kind of player we need at 16 million. Why are we not biting the hand off? And you know, these FSG minions had a go at me the other day for writing an article and say it's true though. If we don't make this deal happen, £16 million over 5-6 years, 10 million a year, then I'm sorry, but they deserve scrutiny for it, because there's tight and then there's just no, you know, there's tight and then there's that. That's just ridiculous. I understand they look after the money and things like that. They've done absolutely amazing business finances at this club. Unbelievable what they've done to this club. You know, we couldn't thank them enough. And I'm not FSG out. That's the thing. People think I'm FSG out, but I'm actually not. I just want an ambitious owner. And if we had an ambitious owner last season and the season before that, you know, we could have more than one league title to his name. But we don't. And that's why people say to me, no.
I think that's just like money's oligarch-backed state clubs like Newcastle now and City. I just think it's very, very hard to compete with them because they've an unlimited budget.
We don't have that budget, and I don't expect that budget. And you know, we're not asking for Haaland 100 million. We're not asking for Mbappe 100 million. We're not asking for, you know, the next superstar 100 million, like City do. We're not asking for that. We're asking for, when Klopp needs that support, give him that support. He has done wonders with this squad, absolute wonders. If it weren't for him and his coaches, we wouldn't be nowhere near league titles because they've turned them into world-class players.
Jay, do you think what other midfielder outgoings do you think? Do you think Milner will stay? And obviously the Ox will probably go. Tahi, if you want to throw him in that bracket, probably potentially going to leave. Do you think Tchouameni's coming in at 59 million to start, or do you think he's going to be pretty much like Konate? He is one of Konate's good friends as well, which I do think will play a factor in him coming here. Do you think he'll maybe have a Konate type role in the squad next year, where it's just every other game, really? Maybe with Hendo, because Hendo probably can't play every game next season.
Oh yeah, that's half me thinking. I don't know if he'll come straight in and be a starter every week, but I think by January that'd definitely be the intention. I think it's more to phase Henderson out into what Milner's doing. Joyce came out the other day and said Milner hasn't fully decided what he wants to do yet, whether he wants game time or to stay another season. And to be honest, I think if City slip up Sunday, we win the league and the Champions League, if I was Milner, I'd probably go. You've won everything. Go and play footy for your last year or 2 years. Go and enjoy your last season or two. Give that role to Henderson. And hopefully, Tchouameni can come in and then be focal part of the midfield with Thiago and Fabinho.
What about you, Damon? Would you agree on that? Do you think that plays a factor? Milner famously said he came to Liverpool to win the Champions League, so go out on a high when you've won 2.
I love Milner, absolute legend of the club. He hasn't done much as in game time, but he is a legend of the club in terms of what he has done. But if we keep him and not get Tchouameni because of keeping him, then that is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. We don't need sentimentality. You spoke about Van Persie earlier. There was no sentimentality with Ruud van Nistelrooy. They got him out. But then they got Van Persie in, and look what he did to him. He won him the league title by himself practically that season. We need to get rid of this sentimentality. I love Milner. If he signs a new deal, and we get Tchouameni, I'll be happy with that. But if it means losing Tchouameni to keep Milner, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough.
Nah, I think Tchouameni will come in regardless of
Yeah.
London or not. I think this is someone we've looked at for years. I mean, he's the right age, really. He's 22, young, French, and he does look the part, and he's versatile. I think that's the most important with Liverpool signs, that he can play holding, attacking on the wings if need be. Just because of that injury crisis, I think we want to cover it with all aspects. But Jay, who would you think? Who else is going from that midfield? Do you think many will leave, or do you think it's more about bringing people into learn from the likes of Thiago and Henderson, etc.?
I think Oxford's definitely off. If he doesn't start questioning his own ambition anyway, like, well, why do you want to be here if you can't even get on the bench? You know,
The new Lingard.
The new Barini. I remember we couldn't get rid of Barini for years.
Still here?
Who?
Loris Karius, he's still here?
Yeah, and Shea Ojo. Ojo's
Yeah.
due a testimonial. He's been here since he was about 10. I think Oxford's defo gone, mate. I think there's a question with Naby Keita, because it's hard to decide whether he's warranted a new contract, because some games you watch him and you think he's brilliant, like you couldn't leave him out, and then a game later the game just completely passes him by. He looks too slow, too weak. So I don't know. It's hard to commit to giving him a 5-year deal when he's not that fit either. So I
Would you
think
give Naby Keita a new deal on maybe the same wages?
He's on a good wage though, isn't he? He's not on a small wage, I don't think. I think he's on a high wage anyway.
130, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Yes, he's one of the higher earners compared to a lot of the others. He is in the top bracket. I don't know, mate. I think there's a proper decision to be made with him, because, like I say, when he plays well, he looks really good. But this is probably the most fit he's been since we signed him, and there's been signs that he's a top player. But
120.
What, sorry?
He's on 120 grand. That's when he first came in. He's on the same wages as the Ox, though.
See, that's what I mean. If you get rid of them two, that's a lot of wages you're getting back on the books. For two players, well, Ox doesn't play ever, and Keita's obviously injury prone a lot. So I don't know. I think there's a decision to be made with Keita, and I think Jones could get a loan move potentially, or Elliott, just because they're not both going to get enough game time. Only one will.
Yeah.
So I think Oxford's defo gone. A decision to be made on Keita, and I think one of Jones or Elliott will probably go out on loan.
Do you reckon that means big summer in midfield? Do you reckon Tchouameni's the first of many coming in, Damon, or do you think this is our statement signing?
I was hoping at least 2 this summer, but I can't see it being more than Tchouameni, if I'm honest. I can't. I think we've got Curtis and then Harvey Elliott there, so like Jay said, one of them might go on loan. What do you guys see in Curtis Jones? As in, like, do you see it for the future?
Oh, don't ask me, Damon. I'm very, very biased. I think he's phenomenal.
I see. Would we bring him? Would we be looking at Bellingham and Tchouameni and players like that if Curtis Jones was that guy?
There's always,
I think he'd be a brilliant squad player. I think he'd be like
always get from rotation. Like, if you go and get Bellingham and you get Tchouameni, and even if you say go and get Joe Bellingham or you go and get another world class centre mid, then they can't play. Liverpool played 64 games this season. They can't play 64 games in a year. So players like Jones, who are happy to pick up them spare minutes, they're vital in your squad as well.
Yes, I see him as a squad player like that. Really, I think he'll be, especially the longer he stays, the more experience he's getting in that dressing room. He's got some brilliant players to look up to in that dressing room, and it can't be a better club to learn. I think at the moment, a better manager to learn off. So yeah, I would see him as a squad player more than a first team. I just don't think he's got that quality of a first teamer in this Liverpool team. I don't. He's shown it in games like that Porto game in Champions League this season. He was unbelievable, wasn't he? I think man of match clear, but he doesn't do enough of that to really show to me like, oh, is he good enough to step up fully? That's why it's so important to bring more midfielders in now, because we're not going to have Thiago and Fabinho and Henderson much longer. They're all players, and then we're not having to rely on Jones and Elliott then to step up.